Hello guys, welcome to English Tour. Most IELTS candidates worry about the speaking test because they feel nervous, run out of ideas, or struggle to give long answers. But here's the truth. This part of the exam is not about having perfect English. It's about showing confidence, fluency, and the ability to keep a natural conversation going. In this video, I will show you exactly how to do that step by step so you can walk into your speaking test prepared and walk out with a higher band score. Okay, let's go. Okay, but what is the IELTS speaking test? Okay, the IELTS speaking test is like a friendly chat, so don't worry, it's not as scary as it sounds. This section is designed to check how well you can actually communicate in English, not how many big words you can memorize. The test lasts about 11 to 14 minutes. So roughly the time it takes to drink a cup of coffee. And it's divided into 3 parts where you will talk about familiar topics, share your opinions, and handle slightly more abstract ideas. But what's the examiner really looking for? Your ability to express yourself clearly, use a range of vocabulary and grammar, and keep the conversation flowing like you would with a friend. Great. So far so good. The speaking test starts with part 1. Introduction and general questions. Think of this as the warm-up round. It lasts about 4 to 5 minutes. Here's what happens. You and the examiner introduce yourselves, and then you will get a few simple questions about familiar topics. Nothing too scary, yes? They might ask about your home, family, or hometown, your studies or job, your hobbies and interests, or even everyday things like travel, daily routines, or holidays. The point here isn't to test how fancy your English is. It's to see how naturally you can talk about things you already know. In other words, if you can chat about your favorite food without breaking into sweat, you are on the right track. Okay, great. Any question? Now let's talk about part 2, often called the long turn. Don't worry, it's not a Shakespeare play, but it does last about 3 to 4 minutes. Here how it works. You will get a cue card, as you can see on the screen, with a topic and a few prompts, usually 3 to 5 prompts to guide your answer. You will have 1 minute to prepare. Yes, just 1. That's your golden 60 seconds to scribble down notes, plan your ideas, or panic slightly before realizing it's not that bad. So then you will need to speak continuously for up to 2 minutes on that topic. Think of it as storytelling time. The examiner might follow up with a couple of quick questions just to wrap things up. And the topic, they are usually about you, your experiences, your life, or things you have done. So no, they won't ask you to explain quantum physics. Instead, it could be something like describe a trip you enjoyed or talk about a person who inspired you. Basically, real life stuff that you already have inside your head. You just need to get it out in English. Okay, great. Now let's look at the sample cue card so you know what to expect. Imagine you are handed this. Describe a party you have been to. And then it gives you some prompts to guide your answer, like whose party it was, where the party was held, who was there, and explain what you did at the party. Pretty straightforward, right? You are not expected to give a detailed guest list or the playlist from the DJ. The idea is just to use these prompts as stepping stones to keep talking. So instead of panicking, think of it like chatting with a friend. So you can say, well, it was my cousin's birthday. We had it at his house. Lots of family came, and honestly, I spent most of the night near the cake table. See? Natural, simple, and structured. But the hard part is that you have to present all this information in 2 minutes. So you have to somehow branch it out and make it longer. And I will teach you how to do that in future sessions. Okay, so in part 2, the examiner isn't judging whether the party was fun or boring. They are judging how clearly you can describe it in English. Okay, awesome. Now we come to the grand final of the speaking test, part 3. This part lasts about 4 to 5 minutes and feels more like a mini debate or thoughtful conversation with the examiner. Here, the examiner takes the topic from part 2, like your party story, and pushes it into deeper waters. Instead of just what happened at the party, you will now be asked about bigger ideas connected to it. Think of this as party talk, the philosophical edition. So you might get questions like, when do people usually have parties in your country? What makes a good party? How important is it to celebrate important events with a group of people? Why do some people not enjoy going to parties? How do people in your country usually mark the new year? And do you think festivals or celebrations have become too commercialized? The goal here isn't to find the right answer. There isn't one. The examiner simply wants to see if you can express opinions, compare ideas, and think critically in English. So instead of stressing, approach it like a conversation where you show off your ability to discuss, analyze, and give reasons. After all, it's not about whether your country throws the best New Year's party. It's about how well you can explain it in English. Okay, so we have learned the speaking test is a core part of IELTS, and its job is simple: to check how well you can express yourself in English, from small talk about your hobbies to more serious discussions about society or culture. The examiner wants to see if you can communicate naturally, clearly, and confidently. Now, here's what many candidates get wrong. This is not a test of your general knowledge. You don't need to be an expert on world politics, economics, or the meaning of life. The examiner does not care whether you know the exact date of the next solar eclipse or the recipe for lasagna. What they do care about is how well you communicate your thoughts in English. That's it. The speaking test is designed to see if you can share your opinions and everyday experiences, speak at length on a given topic, organize your ideas logically, justify your opinions, and go a little deeper by analyzing, discussing, and even speculating about issues. Okay, great. Now let's see how the IELTS speaking test is scored. Your speaking performance is judged on 4 criteria, each scored from 0 to 9. 1. Fluency and coherence, how smoothly and logically you speak. 2. Pronunciation, how clear and natural your speech sounds. 3. Lexical resource, your range and accuracy of vocabulary. 4. Grammatical range and accuracy, how well you use different grammar structures. Each of these gets its own score, and then IELTS does some quick math. They take the average of the 4 and that becomes your final speaking band score. For example, if you get 7.5 in fluency and coherence, 7 in pronunciation, 7 in vocabulary, and 7.5 in grammar, now they add them up and divide them by 4. IELTS rounds it down, so your final score is 7. That's it, simple math, no secret formulas. And that's everything you need to know about the IELTS speaking test, from the structure to what the examiner is really looking for to how your score is calculated. Remember, this test isn't about being perfect or having a fancy accent. It's about showing you can communicate clearly and confidently. So practice speaking every day, even if it's just talking to yourself in the mirror or recording your voice. In the next video, I will share some powerful tips and strategies to help you boost your speaking score and avoid the mistakes most candidates make. Make sure to hit like, subscribe, and turn on the bell so you don't miss it, because trust me, you will want these strategies before test day. Until future videos, goodbye.